He said to me, and then you will bunny hop. And now I didn't know they were called bunny hops. They're probably not still called bunny hops, are they? Just like a hop.
I wouldn't know instantly what to do.
Single leg hopping.
Just single leg hopping.
Okay.
He said, then bunny hop. He said, Lee, demonstrate a bunny hop.
This sounds like PE.
I did the ears. I went,
Both.
Welcome to Before the Lights. If you're new here, we're a team of health professionals based in London who train people from all over the creative world to get ready for TV, film, even live shows, but most importantly, for everyday life. I'm Dave Hasty.
I'm George Ashwell.
I'm Georgia Canavan.
And I'm Josh Betteridge.
We've been lucky enough to build a pretty special group of members here at the club, so we thought it would be nice for other people to get to know some of them as well as we do.
I was like, I need to start going to the gym. So I literally got out my laptop, and was like, PT's for actors.
Welcome to Before the Lights podcast, guys. I'm Greg James. With me over here is Dangerous Dave, and here is Evil George. And today we're talking grind set.
Grind set?
It's not about mindset, guys. It's about grind set.
It was the very first time I met you when you came in and you actually had to run off and be sick in the toilet.
You feel quite vulnerable when you're kind of lying on your back with your legs up in the air because you feel sick, just breathing, and I'm like, this never happens. I'm so sorry.
So sit back, only do some exercise if you want to, and maybe even learn something about how to look after yourself. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Right.
Game face. Game face.
all right, let me get into character.
Do your warm up.
I'm here.
He's here, everybody.
He is here.
Welcome back to the Before the Lights podcast. I'm again joined by George.
I am here again, yes.
This is it. Until Josh is back, this is it.
It's
me and
just us
George.
two.
What have you done today?
Train people, you know.
Lovely. Train people. We checked out how dark it would be at the gym when the emergency light test was happening.
Yep. We have to do boring
the verdict
shit.
is almost too dark, but not quite dark
Probably
enough
too
to shut.
Yeah.
So
Probably
I think
too dark, but we'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. Anyway, that's not why we're here. We're gonna. I love doing that bit, but it's so boring. I'll just welcome our guest, shall we?
Here
welcome
he
to
is.
the show, comedian, actor, and podcast host Lee. See, I've been right. This is the other thing.
Oh, here we go.
Every
You
time.
don't know how to say my surname.
In my head,
No one does.
Lee Peart, but then
Yeah.
the way Alan said it on the podcast when I was listening is not that.
No.
Lee Peart.
Peart.
It's Peart. Peart is in Fiat.
What?
Yeah.
Peart.
Do
It's
you know
almost
what?
spelt like pear, isn't it?
Yeah,
Almost.
it is. It's actually spelled like
Peart.
heart. Like heart, which I have had before.
Oh, it is as well.
Yeah.
What lunatic would go part?
Well, some people have.
Really?
And I used to be really particular about my surname, and I have kind of made peace with it.
I don't think
That's
you
the
have.
closest.
Or as you'd say,
Peart.
purse. But no, I have a bit. I've got better.
Right.
Because I always remember when at school, like exams, and they used to call out people's names. It'd be like Lee Peart, and I always go Peart, and it became a thing. And then I remember in my graduation at university, them saying, like, we were at the Lowry in Manchester, in Salford rather, and I was like, right, they're going to say Peart. They might even say part. And then the guy was like, graduating with first class honours in performing arts. Don't get excited. Lee Peart. And it had and I hadn't planned for that.
Was there a Pete?
So
was there another Lee?
As I got on the stage, the camera was on me of the Lowry. My mum and dad said there was just on the big screen me rolling my eyes as if like, oh, gotta collect this degree. But it was because he'd said Pete, and I didn't mind. But he'd said like, you know, Salima Patajinje like before that. Rolled off
Perfectly.
his tongue because he'd been up practicing that.
Yeah,
he'd seen Lee and thought, don't need to.
That's an easy one. Got
Salima Patajinje is actually not a person, but you know what I mean. Well, it might be. Shout out to Salima.
That is a name to make up. Well done.
Thank you.
Very good.
Well, all names are made up.
I get
Very
hasty.
true.
I get hasty, and I have to
Yeah,
What
he's-
would you have wanted to be called?
Pasty pasty.
You get Hasty. What's your surname?
Hasty.
Hasty.
Hastie.
Oh, and Hasty.
Hasty, or spelt like with a Y. Quite a
Yeah,
lot, but
that would be Hasty.
yeah,
George Ashwell, very easy.
Very generic, boring name.
Not
there we go.
boring. George is a strong name.
For everybody listening, Lee Peart.
And actually, I will say,
With a dong and a bell.
Dong.
David and George, probably safe currently in terms of names.
There's not...
Lee, not. I feel like I'm not
As in
dead.
there's baby Lees are on the way, you mean?
I don't think so. Like, when, the name Tracy, I would say, is dead.
Yes, Nigel is dead.
Okay,
There's
Gary
no,
is
there's no
dead.
baby Nigel.
I was
or
discussing
Garys.
this the other
But
day.
Lee isn't dead. I'd say I've got like a terminal illness. I'm on the way out.
But do you know what my theory with this is? My theory is that, and as if this is groundbreaking anyway, it's
Yeah.
not all.
And
it's
how
that-
often have you thought about this?
Quite a lot, because I've got 2 kids,
Yeah.
and you
No,
discuss names of children with other people. It's
Yeah.
just one of the boring things to talk about with other parents. But grandparents, that's the kind of clock of names. So when Lee becomes more of a grandparent name, then there'll be an influx of baby Lees.
Possibly,
Because there's not going to be any baby Daves for years.
but there might be David. David's
I think
still a strong
in
name.
my generation there were so many Davids. Like everybody, if you go it's a David or a David.
You have 5 friends called
everybody.
David.
I know 4 of the Daves from Leeds.
Because
So
I
it's-
used to want to be called James. I always wanted to be called James.
Why?
I don't know. I just always was like, I should.
If you're
going to
choose a name, why would you
No,
go
but
with
I
James?
don't
Sorry,
say
'cause
that now.
Jimmy sat there just slagging off James.
Literally his name.
No, but like now, I'd love to be called like Brett or Cody.
Shall we go with Brett today?
But
Just call you Brett for the rest of the
Brett Peart. It goes.
Anyway, we haven't even got past saying your name.
Name, yeah. This
I
isn't
said
gonna
to
go
Jimmy,
well.
do talk
when
a
I
lot.
when I wrote the notes for this, I said to Jimmy, I haven't written much because
About
I've got
3
a feeling,
questions.
I've got a feeling like we're not going to need much written down.
Well,
Well,
when
I
sorry,
think this
when you
is-
started the introduction with the emergency light test, I thought, Christ, I'm going to have to
You're
carry
gonna
this.
You're gonna have to immediately your brain's
Here we
gone.
go.
Your brain's gone to, oh my god, I'm gonna have to tell them the names I think I should have been called.
yeah. Bring out the big guns.
We got a Lee, a Dave, and a George.
Yeah, strong names.
That's 3 mates that have gone to Benidorm, I reckon, isn't it? That's what it sounds like.
Venice.
Venice. No, there's
Don't
no
bring
Lee.
me
I've
down.
only ever
Lee,
been
Dave, and
through
George.
Venice because when I was 19, I think it was, or 18, me and my friend went to Venice, and the rest of them went to Magaluf. We were like, we're not doing that. I always had this strong sense of like not going to Magaluf.
delusion of grandeur.
Yeah, delusion of grandeur.
To be fair, I don't think I've been there, but I went to Zante.
Yeah, we've all been to
And it
one of them.
was
Zante.
When it
I've
was
not
like-
been to Zante.
Went
I
to
think
the
like there's a
Algarve.
lot of, because it's the islands of Kintos, isn't it? And there's a lot of that island that's beautiful. But then there's one bit where just British teenage boys go, and it's awful. That's the 2nd week in a row now.
Ding, is that you again?
Yeah.
Well done.
Last week it was
Tell him
Virgin
off.
Media. This week it's InPost. I'm just ruining this. Aren't I? Anyway, we'll move on from that.
I like this setup. This is a great podcast studio.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Really nice.
We didn't do any of it.
Fiction studios did. I guess so. There you go.
Oh, is that because it's sort of full of books?
Yeah.
I've only
Nice.
just made that connection.
That's why. Anyway, we'll move on from this and we'll talk a little bit about what you do and who you are. So for those that don't
Some
know,
of these are non-fiction. Some of
They're
these books are non-fiction.
They're actually not books. If you grab that,
those are fake ones.
Secret door.
That's the secret door. Well, you could take a book home at the end. How about that?
Sure.
That'd be nice.
Sorry, I do go off on a tangent.
That's fine. We can deal with
I
that.
think I might have ADHD.
Do you reckon?
But I think a lot of comedians do.
I think that's how you become a comedian.
Yeah.
Your brain is making different connections to different things.
It could also be how you become a podcast host.
That's
I
true.
reckon,
It could. It could.
By looking for something to do. Your podcast, speaking of which,
Yes.
Bottoms Up, which you
Mhm.
co-host with Alan Carr.
Yes, he's
Can
an up-and-coming
you-
comedian.
He's relatively well known.
Yeah.
Small-time comedian.
People struggle with his name.
Yeah.
There's 2 R's. It's very confusing.
Saying that, Alan is a tricky one because you can be 2 L's.
Alan's another name that is dead.
Yeah.
Don't
there's-
you think?
There's no baby
You're never
Allens.
gonna name.
Because have
baby
I ever
Alan.
told you about the time in 2012 where I was working the Olympics in London? And
No.
I was looking after the American family home. I was working for
Hold on,
P&G.
What's the American family home?
Oh, and so there was this wine museum called Vinopolis. Don't know if you ever remember it, on London Bridge,
No.
kind of around that area. And there's a wine museum, and it was amazing. But they turned the wine museum into a big American family home where the VIPs, the Olympian VIPs from America, would come, and their friends and family could. So I was Crest. I represented Crest. It was P&G. It was sponsored by P&G.
Like the toothpaste.
Oral
brand.
B.
Oh, nice.
And but
I'm
they
so confused.
they call it Crest.
Yeah, no, I'm more confused about the way you started it. Like, have I ever told you the time that I was looking after a wine museum turned into a house for a bunch of American Olympians whilst dressed as a toothpaste?
I'm with
I
them.
wasn't dressed as a
right.
toothpaste.
Okay, I thought you were like,
I was representing the
right.
brand Crest. So I had toothpaste coming out my arse. I had like free toothbrushes all the time. Like, no, that wasn't
You were
like a
toothpaste
feature. Right? As in,
dispenser.
I had like loads of toothpaste, and they'd come and they'd get free shit. And they used to swap badges. So I used to collect badges, and the big Olympians would come with special badges. It was a real thing. We used to trade badges, and I got a load of badges from like the Olympians. I sold them on eBay for a fortune. Got loads of money. Anyway, what was my point? Oh yeah. So this woman comes in with a pram. This woman comes in with a pram and she goes,
Right, we're getting there. We're getting there.
I go, oh my God, I said, your baby, he's so cute. I said, what's his name? She went, Ian. And I said, Ian. And then I went, IAN. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, Ian. That was 2012. He is now, I'd say what, 14? 14,
Yes,
13?
14, yeah, 14.
There is a
years old.
14-year-old Ian
Yeah,
somewhere.
but there was a baby Ian as well, which is even more mental.
I know.
Baby Ian.
I just
Baby
was
Ian.
like, no. And I'm not judging people's names, but not
That's very
Ian.
much what you've done.
But I
at the
know
start
lots
of
of
the pod.
Ians.
Yeah, you know Ian's. The youngest Ian I know is 30, and he spells it I-A-I-N.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ian's a weird one, isn't it? There's Ian's a weird name, and so can be Alan, and so can be Lee Peart.
Oh God.
Lee Peart.
Mm?
Let's talk about your podcast, shall we?
Okay, yeah, go on.
Can you tell people that are listening, if anyone is still listening, what it is and what you guys do on the show?
So it's called Bottoms Up. Now, it is a wine podcast / alcohol.
Have you had much wine today, by any chance?
I've had no wine today.
That explains things.
I know.
Get
I
in
was.
some wine.
Yeah, I'm not on form. I've not had a wine. We were slightly worried because we were wondering when we first set it up, are we going to get like emails and people messaging in thinking it was like for rectal problems because it's called Bottoms Up.
That's a good point.
So we were a little bit worried, but we were going to call it Grape Minds Think Alike, which I really liked. But apparently, grape on TikTok is a word used to bypass a certain word. So our producer was like, we just don't want to muddy those waters.
You'd rather
But then
be
I'm
getting
like,
the
how many
bottom.
people are going to watch this podcast and be like, huh, well, they don't talk about rape once. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I think we're fine. I think it, it's just what it says on the tin. Anyway, what's the question? No, yeah, so wine. So wine.
Just what's the podcast about?
The podcast is
about
about wine.
wine.
So, Alan and I, very close friends. Everyone thinks we're in a relationship. We're not. We are
How many times have you said that?
all the time. Comedians, drinking buddies, love a wine, but we don't know anything about it. So we are on a quest to make it more accessible to both us and the general consumer, because if you go to a restaurant, you could look at the menu and you could say to the waiter, oh, could you tell me what's in this dish and that dish? But you pick up a wine list, everyone's scared, they're like, oh, and they just go for the second, which, by the way, don't
It's
do.
always the worst.
That's always the worst, because they
That's the
know you
secret.
won't choose the first, you'll choose the second to not look cheap.
Oh, really?
So it's then developed into basically, it's a get together with your mate, with a drink. We do learn stuff along the way, and I'm very keen. Well, both Alan and I are very keen on it being like, we are going to learn something.
I would say you can you kind of steer that bit a little bit, the learning part.
I try and go
feel.
like, let's not leave here with just a hangover. Let's at least get.
But you can tell that
little bit.
you're interested in it because it's like the way that you'll talk about it. I think.
And it is like so massive, like not the podcast, but like the wine world is so. There's so much to learn. So it's basically that really, and it's essentially like a little visual. They call it a vodcast now, don't they? Visualized podcast, a vodcast.
yes.
I thought you meant because it was boozy. Did it come
Bottled vodka.
from being like you guys sitting around a dinner table together and having a few glasses of wine and just chatting away then?
We were in Cape Town,
Uh-huh.
wine tasting at Babylon Storn.
Oh,
Do you know it?
I don't.
Do you know the Newt in Somerset?
Yes.
It's linked to the Newt,
Okay.
and their vineyard in Franschhoek in Cape Town is called Babylon Storn. We went there, sitting wine tasting, and I was like really getting into it. We were tasting like we'd have a glass of wine, bit of melon, then have the glass of wine again.
I like it when
Changes
they do that, when they give you like a bit of food to eat with it, and then all of a sudden you like get all... Because sometimes people that are like very into the drinks will tell you things, you know, like, I don't understand.
I mean, there is a line where it's like, what is pretentious, what is
But there's
actual.
stuff
Yeah,
that like
we haven't
it
crossed that
generally
line
does
yet.
like changes what's happening in your mouth from like a chemical standpoint, doesn't it? And then like the flavors of things all of a sudden. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, right, yeah, that makes
I
sense.
had this
though.
red, and I was like, put a bit of beef jerky in my mouth. Roller coaster.
I don't think that's ever been said on this podcast.
Should we move on to your comedy career? Because obviously the podcast is two
God,
comedians
don't think
talking
we've got
about
time.
talking two comedians. we might actually run out.
We probably
Two
will.
comedians talking about wine. But your start in comedy came a lot longer back before then.
Yeah.
So was that
Yeah,
something
so-
you did straight away after uni, or was it?
During.
Uh-huh.
So went to the University of Salford and didn't get into drama schools. And I remember going to Freshers' Fair. Do you remember Freshers' Fair, where you get all your Dominoes, buy one, get one free vouchers?
They
You
were
stack
big,
up
weren't
on there.
they?
They were
We had
big.
so many of those in our student house.
And went and got all your condoms and stuff, you know. Still got them. And used them as paperweights. No, and... I was like, I'm signing up for everything. Debating class, you know, like all the shit.
Yeah.
And stand-up society was in there. I was like, I'm going to try that. I want to try it. Because because I didn't get in drama school, I was like, I want to make the most of everything I'm doing here. And so signed up to stand-up course, had like a meeting where you had to write 5 minutes of stuff. And then it disbanded. The guy running it I guess just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
And then so I had this thing. So then I went to the Lasso Gowrie, which is a small little pub in Manchester. Little room upstairs, probably maybe 18 people in there. Did my first ever gig. Terrified. And then someone then not spotted me, but was doing the gig and was like, "Oh, come and do this gig." So then I went and did that gig. And then someone at that gig was like, "Oh, come and do the Comedy Store in Manchester." So the third one was the Comedy Store. But I always say, because we all always have bad gigs, if those first couple of gigs had gone bad, I'd have given up.
Yeah. I mean,
'Cause
the
I
fact
am
that
a
you're doing
quitter.
the Comedy Store after you've
No,
done
I am.
two shows, you're a quitter.
No, I am. And if we talk about fitness later, I am a
Well, I'd say
quitter.
it's impressive for a self-declared quitter to have made it in the entertainment industry. Because most
And
of
the
the time, it's,
comedy as well, because it's just such a
yeah.
dog eat dog. Like you're never gonna have perfect run of shows.
No.
I mean, the fact that you were playing at the comedy club within
Third show.
3
Yeah,
shows,
and I
must
mean-
like you know you're doing something right at that
But
point.
that was my point. So when I did eventually get the bad gigs, and you get the bad gigs,
Yeah.
I had evidence to prove that
Good gigs.
I can do it.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
my thing. Like if I was like, oh yeah, I'm not good at this, I would have just gone, fine, I've tried it, whatever. But yeah, so I think if I'm not good at something, I'm not one of those that, like, I try and be good at it, but I'm not one that will necessarily apply myself to be, like, really good. You know those people who are, like, they do bad at something and they're like, I'm going to prove it to you, mama.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove it. And you're like, I always remember watching that thinking, can't be bothered.
Yeah, I relate to that.
Do you?
Well, it's like if you could, not that I can't be bothered, but you're like, I'll do it because I want to do it, and if I'm going to do it well, I'm going to do it well anyway.
I don't really like discomfort either.
Well, do you think I've written down here that it was like that comedy is quite an unhealthy career in a way, in a lot of ways? Like I feel like from a lifestyle standpoint, because the way I would
God,
imagine
yeah.
it takes place is like you've got to be in different towns and cities, and when you're starting to kind of make your way, it's, I assume you just traveling around.
Yeah, and I think I've spoken about this before where it's quite, because obviously I love a drink, and it is quite, I think you said this to me once, George, because I was like, my job is ruining my social life, and you were like, Your job is
He's-
your social life, and
he's
that
a
is
social life,
Yeah,
for sure.
like you go in and they're like, "I've put a bottle of wine in your dressing room," or "Would you like a drink?" and all that, and it's so that can kind of get a bit unhealthy because, you know, if you have a good gig, you want a drink, and if you have a bad gig, you want 4.
And
And
quite
occasionally
often,
you want to drink before the gig.
Occasionally I do, and occasionally I have too many drinks before. a
Like,
gig.
I always find that hilarious because, like, every job I've ever had, mainly this one, but I have had other jobs. If I turned up half pissed
Oh
to
my God,
any
I
of
know.
my jobs,
I know.
mental. I'd
Yeah.
get told off.
When I worked
by
at Tesco,
someone,
imagine
I
if I
guess.
walked in and was like, Angela, where's my wine?
she'd be like, "It's there." You
Another
need to
name
put it-
that is
you need
dying.
to put it on the
Another
shelf.
name that is
Poor
dying.
Angela, yes,
Poor
it's
old
gone.
Angela.
Although not really dying because she's still alive in bars. Ask for
Angela is-
Angela.
Yes, ask for Angela.
And you know the gay version of that? Clive.
Ask for Clive.
What gay guy is going to ask for Clive?
They should have picked a more, like, appropriate
Brett.
name. Yeah,
Ask
exactly.
for Brett Peart.
Brett Peart.
He'll be with you in a minute.
Now all
gosh.
I'm imagining is just you in a really shitty superhero's outfit, just coming in to save other gay guys.
Yeah. Don't worry. Grape Man will save you. Oh, right. Too far.
Would you say?
Grape Man's here.
Would you say we don't want to? We can't be getting our podcast put into the wrong category.
Yeah, he's doing
Oh,
it because
no.
he's trying to he's going around every
I'm trying
podcast
to
saying
destroy you
great
from the
blows.
inside.
Yeah.
I'm like a Trojan horse.
Do you think? Do you think that comedy as an industry is getting a bit healthier? Because I don't know if that's just what I see on my social media. If I'm just being fed stuff from sort of middle-aged men, but all the comedians that pop up on Instagram to me seem to all of a sudden now be like getting fit,
Train
and
a
healthy.
lot, yeah.
Yeah, like Matt Rife.
It just seems that
Matteo
there's,
Lane.
like a lot of people are all of a sudden
Kevin
like
Hart.
Ramesh.
He like has a
It's
Ramesh
like all of
has
a
lost
sudden,
loads of
like,
weight.
Ran a marathon, Rob Beckett, and like guys like that as well.
I think that's just life in general,
It is a
not
bit, isn't it?
necessarily
Like, we've
comedy.
seen
There's a
it.
shift in the
We've
world.
seen it
There's a
in
shift
music and in acting as
yeah,
well. It
people
seems to
understand
change.
now what nutrition does for you mentally, and you know.
Have you
body-wise.
noticed that then personally when you're, because you do sort of TV work and everything as well? I imagine that if you have days where you've had a drink or you've had like food that hasn't sort of sat right with you or whatever, like you turn up and you feel a bit foggy or a bit cloudy.
I've noticed now, and I never used to have this, and this must be age. If I have like a takeaway, sometimes I'll get home and it's really late, and the only things that are open are like Burger King or something. I will wake up in the middle of the night so dehydrated.
Thirstiest man in the
Yeah.
world, yes.
And I never used to have that as a like
Maybe you did and just
20-year-old.
didn't realise.
Yeah, maybe.
I think there is when you get into your 30s and stuff. It is just
But also,
dry
there's
out
so
of it.
many more options. Do you know what I love? A kombucha. Gut. I'm into gut.
into gut,
Gut health.
not having a gut.
Well, apparently it's the second brain.
You said earlier that you were a quitter, but I know that you do
Can't wait for the thumbnail.
go to the gym and you do train.
I do.
So it isn't something that you just sort of push to the side and avoid completely.
No.
Have you always had that? Has it always been something that's a feature in your life? Or is it
I used to be so thin.
Uh-huh.
So thin, like. I was looking at photos the other day, and you can see, they call it a twink death, where you
slowly die.
twink?
Die
yeah,
a
and I
twink
got
death.
a bit. Yeah.
What
but I
have you
got-
turned into?
Well, this year hasn't been good. I've fallen well off the bandwagon.
Yeah.
The best shape I was ever in, I think, was when I went to the Maldives, and for work. And I thought, I'm going to the Maldives. I need to.
I remember this.
Yeah, and I looked great.
You achieved
And I
your
was
goal.
I just got into a routine. For me, it's a routine. It's like making the bed. If it just becomes like a thing.
And you were following a program by
Oh yes,
Connor
Minnie.
who's
Yes.
now got a massive run club following called
Yes.
Get Gains.
And
which does
funnily
very well.
enough, tomorrow I'm doing his podcast.
Oh, really?
Hate to
Are
break
you?
it to you. I'm
Look at
seeing
you.
other people.
Podcast man.
But yes, I was following that, and then I got an app which was really good as well, and that kind of just told me, because the thing with me is I used to go in and kind of walk around aimlessly, and that's why it's good having like a PT, isn't it, where they'll just go
A lot
right,
of
do
people
that.
do. It is pretty common. Like we see a lot of people that come into our gym
Yeah.
and see us for that exact reason, because they just sort of walk in, stand there, do the two things that they remember, and then just go, I'll go on the treadmill for like 5
Yeah,
minutes and
yeah.
then
I
leave.
used to be a bit like that, or I'd be like, or what I didn't do is time myself in between sets. I'd sit and watch like something, and then I'd be like, oh, I better do another one. And so it really kind of helped me with that. And then I do enjoy going to the gym. Like I feel good after it. But I said to someone the other day, because I've put on weight. I'm sick of these people who go, no, you haven't. firstly, this woman had never met me. So I'm like, and then I'm like, statistically, I have put on weight. I'm not fat, but like
You're not where
I've
you feel
noticed my body
comfortable.
has gone from like, and that's the thing as you get older and you're drinking wine or whatever. I've never really massively changed my lifestyle. I've never been one of them where it's like, I can't have a drink tonight because I've got this in the morning. But I would just go maybe harder at the gym. If I was a bit like, if like last night, maybe I had a bad meal, I'd probably like do a swim afterwards or I don't like running either.
Well, you don't have to
Talking to Connor in a minute, he wants me to join that bloody gay run club.
No,
I
thank
can't
you.
run.
do it.
You only tick one of the 2 boxes there, so
Yeah.
Running.
Next club. No, and also, can you imagine running with a load of fit gays? I said I watch from the side.
just go,
Just take
I
it.
consider it a spectator.
Can you go on
sport.
show me the
e-scooter?
route. I'll just sit there with a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Follow them on a little e-scooter.
Yeah, on one of those tuk-tuks.
That'd be good.
Love a tuk-tuk.
You could be the what's
Cheerleader.
it called? Yeah, not the cheerleader, like the hype man for it.
I could be like, you know that bunny that goes with the greyhounds?
Yeah,
Little bunny.
the mechanical thing that goes and fires
Yeah,
out.
yeah, gotta be
Makes
that.
everyone run
So
faster.
they all chase you.
Yeah.
So that would be you.
And but they never get you.
They never
That's the
get
whole
me. No
point.
one can catch
No
Great
one-
Man. He catches them.
You could.
How many more times is he
Really
going to
not.
break man into it?
If I know him well enough, a lot.
There'll be so many times. Earlier on, you mentioned like the starting out in comedy and it being quite terrifying going on stage.
Yeah.
Is that something that's kind of maintained? Because for me, the idea of doing stand-up comedy is like probably the most scary thought of like
Yeah,
any
you said you
kind
don't
of
like being uncomfortable.
performance.
That's a pretty uncomfortable thing
I think
to
that must
do.
be like the most uncomfortable thing.
Yeah, it's become comfortable now because the only times I really get nervous now are if there's a room that I haven't played and it feels a bit, ooh, how's this going to go?
Mm-hmm.
Like I did the Cookham Cricket Club the other week. Do you know Cookham?
Where's that?
Cookham's like near Maidenhead, I think.
Yeah, it's like Berkshire, Hampshire
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
I love that the cricket club
It's-
has booked you to come out. It was like a summer party or something.
Yeah, no, it was
It's a
comedy
very-
night in the cricket club.
Oh,
So they
cool.
put
It's
a
a
big
very white middle class area.
Yes, yeah. And I went and
They were like, we need great man to come in.
and it was
Don't you
You're
start
doing
now.
it. Yeah, and I was I wasn't nervous, but I had this kind of like, oh, how's this gonna go? And I was getting a bit like, oh, because you know, you're in the middle of a field, the laughter just goes up. If I went into a comedy club and it's low ceiling, it's packed out vibe, you can feel it, the
You kind
energy.
of know, that's a
You go,
comfortable
oh, this is
arena
going to
for
be
you.
decent.
Yeah.
Or I'd get really nervous if like someone who hasn't seen me before has come, especially, and it's
And
a
they've told
room
you.
and it's a room that's a bit tricky. Like I do a lot of gigs for Soho House, and sometimes they can be quite difficult. And if someone's like, "I'm coming to see you," and I'm like, "Oh, just to let you know, like this room is like not," and because I never want them to think like, "Oh,
He's a bit shit.
why is he still trying to be a comedian?" Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where I get a bit nervous.
Yeah.
But I don't really get.
But do you then have you kind of developed techniques for getting yourself in the right headspace before you go on stage? I think like
Breathing.
we've spoken about with other performers quite a bit about just things that they do in a week or the moments before they go on stage. Because I'm quite fascinated by people who like deliberately do a thing or end up in a career which is a thing that they're a bit sort of scared of.
Yeah,
or
they
it's
have to
like
almost
a,
regulate their
like a
emotions.
moment of like, oh right, it's a little bit uncomfortable by nature, isn't it?
Well, it's a bit like daredevil-y, like not daredevil-y, but it's a bit like people
it's
who
an
do
adrenaline
extreme
kick,
right?
sports.
Yeah.
So you've got like breathing is something like a tool that you use.
Yeah, I used to get like genuinely, you couldn't even talk to me. I'd be like this little like just in the corner like, and I used to like, and that was probably worse because I was.
But you're like psyching
hyperventilating.
yourself up to get
Yeah.
on stage or whatever.
But now if I get a bit, I might take a moment or I might meditate. Sometimes I'll put on some. I did like a solo show
gonna
last
talk
year
about
at
this.
the. Sorry.
I was going to talk about this.
Yeah,
you can
at
talk about
at
it.
the Crazy Cox, and that was a little bit of a different one because it was a cabaret, and I was very nervous for
So
that.
that's
'cause
quite
that
an
was-
iconic venue in London
Yeah,
as well,
I
isn't
love
it?
it.
That's like such
Such a
a
nice venue.
moment for a lot of
I
people
just
to
wish it
play
was
there.
bigger. 80 seats is not enough.
and singing for the first time.
And singing for the first time,
Yeah.
which, do you know what? I mean, I'm thinking, like, I don't like discomfort, but then I'm just randomly doing things I don't need to do for discomfort.
Sounds like you're seeking it out a little bit.
Yeah. But, yeah, so... and the discomfort and the so I remember meditating before the show, and I did like a special one where it was like pre-show nerves and stuff, and I didn't need to say the affirmations or anything like that because but it helped me just go, because actually when you're nervous you talk faster, you're a bit jittery, and I always say stand up, it's like driving a car, of which I'm not good at. If the driver is... If you're in a car with the driver and then they're like, you're nervous for them because you're in the passenger seat. And that's the same with comedy. The same with singing. Listen, if I'm watching someone and they're ropey on the first few notes of I Will Always Love You, or I Have Nothing, I'm like, what's she going to do at the end?
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. I think because people do get in those positions, like weddings and things like that, where all of a sudden you got to stand up and talk in front of people. You did a very good job. You officiated at George and Yasmin's wedding.
Yes.
And that was nervous because that's a bit different, where it's like... And everyone's like...
There's pressure on you as the friend to...
We should add context to this. Lee went to university with my wife, and therefore he officiated.
He wasn't hired to do the job.
We're friends. We're best friends.
Best friend.
But then there's a lot of pressure on you to do a good job because it's your best mate.
But also,
everyone thought you were going to be funny, and you went, "No, this is not a time to be
cry
funny."
Left, right, and center.
You made it funny a lot of other times.
Yeah, and there was a couple of touches, but I'm not going to turn it into some sort of bloody stand-up roast, And it's not about you, and that is the first thing people would say. Oh, it's the Lee Peart show. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not that.
They would say that.
So when people say to me, "Oh, could you do a speech or whatever?" I'm always like, "Give me a reading or give me." But it was easier for you because it was more of an officiating thing. So there were templates of what you use. But I remember a stand-up friend of mine and someone going up to him, and he was doing a speech at a funeral, and someone went, "Don't worry, we'll laugh." He was, "Please don't actually." They just assume you're gonna...
Everything's gonna be funny.
And I think the most nervous I will ever be, and it's not happened yet, is doing a best man speech. If I ever have to be someone's best man.
It's not fun.
But that... for me, would be terrifying.
Because then everyone's expecting
Their
you to make
expectations are high.
Yes.
I've done that twice, and there is I did exactly what you were saying earlier about you kind of thinking about just calming yourself down a little bit to make sure that you say the things you want to say, because otherwise it is easy in that situation to kind of get yourself lost and do quite a shitty job. And everyone's seen it happen as well.
And going over it, I will, the shower, I often used to go over stuff and say it out loud. A lot of people do thinking in the shower.
You've read my best man speech that I did.
Yes.
He gave me a few notes.
Gave you a few notes.
Didn't help, but
I said cancel the wedding.
No. It's going to be terrible.
Not ready
Don't say that.
The best man speech at your wedding was very good.
It was very good. Yes, they did an excellent job.
They did do an excellent job.
Yeah, they were a bit.
It was funny as well because beforehand I was like, "I am around, guys. If you want to go over stuff." They were like, "Oh, we're fine." I was like, "Oh, it's a big thing." And then they went, and it was the funniest thing. And I was like, "They needed no help from me."
And they are both big Lee fans as well. One of them especially is absolutely loves Lee.
You spent a lot of time in environments that would naturally put you in a position where there could be quite humbling moments.
Yes.
I feel like you might have a few examples. Maybe from professionally, maybe from the gym. But do you have any stories for us for Humbled in Hollywood that you think would fit?
The gym one, the only thing I can remember, when I first started going to the gym, I went to Pure Gym in Salford. You have to put the code in and go in that spaceship thing. I used to love that part.
I still do like doing that, to be fair. I went to one recently when I was on tour, and it was like putting the code in and being like, whoosh.
I used to know my code off by heart as well. I started going a lot.
That was when you were off to,
I'm expecting though when you get
South
in
Africa
there
somewhere.
And you get
someone got trapped.
Well, yeah, but also that thing of when you see when people in hazmat suits are going into like a place where they're not allowed to spread any germs, and you go in that thing, it goes.
It cleanses you.
Yeah. I used to
that,
pretend I was in the Hunger Games. You know, when
about
Katniss is
to
in
go.
there and then they start beating up her stylist and kills her.
I haven't watched it.
Anyway, I do remember once being in a class. I don't really like classes. Oh, I fell off the treadmill in Barry's boot camp. That's a humbling moment.
I like how that's not the first thing you thought of.
Was it running still? Did you, like, get
yeah,
whipped off it?
I kind of hung on, and I
hold it.
actually will say this: I saved Rob Rinder's life, Judge Rinder, because I pulled his cord.
Was he falling off as well?
Yeah, I
You
think
just pulled his cord. He was just running along and you pulled his cord.
Yeah,
It sounds
yeah,
like
yeah.
a dream.
Yeah, it does.
No, I just thought he can't run. I'm going to save his life. He's going to have an asthma attack. No, I
Daytime
was
TV
in a,
has a lot of you to thank then.
was in a
Yes.
class, and I remember it was like a group one in Pure Gym, and the guy this was years ago, and the guy was like, okay, can you, then you'll run there, to this guy, can you demonstrate a clean and snatch or something like that? So we'd all have to demonstrate, and he said to me, and then you will bunny hop. And now I didn't know they were called bunny hops. Like they're probably not still called bunny hops, are they? Just like
Well,
a hop.
I wouldn't know
Just
instantly what
Like
to do.
single leg hopping.
Just single leg hopping. He
Okay.
said, then bunny hop. He said, Lee, demonstrate a bunny hop.
This sounds like PE.
I did the ears. I went,
Both.
and he went, you don't need to do the ears. And everyone started laughing. And I was like, and that was quite embarrassing.
Yeah. I
And-
don't think I would know what to do if someone said do a bunny hop.
Well, I just don't. I think if it's just a hop, it's a hop. You have to do the ears.
Yeah, the bunny adds the ears.
I know. I was like,
I
and
also
then-
think like bunny hop is 2 feet, not 1 feet. 1 foot.
that's
rather-
a jump, isn't it?
I think I would have just done like
Bunnies don't
half
jump
of a burpee, I
with
reckon.
1 foot.
Oh, right, yeah.
Half of a burpee. Anyway,
Anyway, so that was I always remember that because I was like, that's embarrassing. Humbling moments in comedy. I remember being in Starbucks, Manchester Piccadilly train station. It's now a Nero, but at the time it was a Starbucks, and this guy comes up to me, and I'd only been doing comedy for maybe like a year, 2 years, and he was like, "Sorry," he's like, "Were you on the comedy club? Are you a comedian?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." And he was like, "Oh yeah, were you on the other night at Excess Malarkey?" And I was like, I was, yeah. And he was like, "Oh, what was the guy's name? He was on before you." And I was like, "Oh, Liam Pickford." He was like, "Oh, he was amazing." And I remember being like, and he never said it to me. And then he was like, "Can I take a name for the order?" And I was just like, and that was like, ugh.
yeah.
But you very quickly, even though comedy is full of ego, it is actually full of ego. You very quickly learn, or well, actually, not a lot of comedians do, but I very quickly learned to just let go of the ego slightly. But it's still there; it can't not be. But not everyone's going to like you. I used to get offended where like people would walk past, maybe if we were walking out and I was with another comedian, and they'd go to them, "Mate, that was brilliant," and then they'd look at me and be like, and then go off, and you're like,
That would be quite
skin. You gotta have a
disheartening,
thick
though, isn't
skin.
it?
But
Also,
then
it's
that
so
happens to
subjective.
me the other way around,
Yeah.
and people won't.
Like not everybody is.
But you
gonna
won't remember those ones.
Be everyone's cup of tea.
Well, you might.
Oh, I do remember
Yeah,
those
yeah.
ones.
It's a good lesson.
I turn to
life,
the other
though, I
comic
think.
and go,
To kind of have that ability to just let those things wash over you a little bit is quite important, I think.
yeah, and also now with social media as well, that's like another big thing where when I first started doing videos on social media, if it didn't do particular numbers, I was like, oh no. But then you just learn to let go because you end up forcing it.
I imagine with the podcast getting bigger and bigger, like you had bloody billboard in Leicester Square or something. didn't
Yeah,
you,
and
you guys?
also I will say this, Alan is probably one of the most recognisable men in the country. And when you're doing a podcast with someone of that stature, you have to let go of some sort of ego, because if I had this ego where I expect the same treatment as he does or whatever, which I certainly don't, and you've got this, you have A-list people here and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like,
we become almost like a service giver most of the time, don't we?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and I'll always say,
Sidekick.
"Let me take the photo." I used to do the warm up for Loose Women, and I remember we would sometimes on a Friday, especially, leave the studio and we'd go out for a few drinks after the show, and some of the audience would be waiting, and the women would walk out and they'd be like, "Can I get a photo?" And then I used to see some of them, the audience, go like, you get in the photo. And I used to be like, no, I'll take it. Go on, get in. And I used to like almost fast forward. I could see them showing their friends the photo of the women and then going, oh, that's Janet Street Porter and that's so-and-so. And then, oh, that's the warm-up guy. He wanted to get in the photo. Like I could feel that was, and I didn't want to look like I wanted to be in their photo.
Yeah.
I'm like, I will save the crop and I will take the photo for you.
Yes.
And that's easy. So, you do have to kind of let go of that ego there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and the worst, I've just started being invited to things.
Where you got to stand and have your photo taken.
I hate it.
I think
Red
everybody,
carpet.
if you like
The other day I was
think it's
gazumped for Beverly Knight, which is
fair
fair.
enough.
Which is
She
fair
is
enough.
Beverly Knight.
You got to let go of that
That's fine.
one.
But being gazumped on a red carpet is one of the saddest feelings in the world.
It's because
you
don't know
wait,
where to stand.
and you have to wait, for a picture, and they're
Which-
like, "Can you go now?" And a lot of times it's like, "We're just going to let this guy go through,"
Yeah.
and it's someone a lot more famous.
which
than
is
you.
fine.
Yeah.
But also, I don't want the photo.
You've
I've
asked me
not
to
got a
wait.
Getty Images account. I'm not going to be buying that photo. All right. I don't want it. I don't want to. But part of the thing is, you're like, yeah, get the photo. And so then I'm stood there, and then you see people watching, and it's like I'm queuing for the
It
photo
does seem
attraction.
when you see it, because like if we ever go to
Castle
the
Market.
premieres or whatever, we're obviously just walking straight
Past
through.
that bit.
We go
Or
through
I'm
like the nice
holding a
entrance
bag of someone that is taking a
through
picture.
the nice entrance, straight down to where the normal bit is. We're just standing or sitting, and
Yeah.
then there's that whole arena of everybody getting the
Photographers.
photos, and it does look like one of the most awkward moments of
so
anything.
awkward. I hate it.
Maybe that's just a new test for you, and to become comfortable in that environment, that'll take a bit of time. You'll be
Well,
there
that's
doing
my
little
life's mission.
little mini
you've been
meditations
kind
on
of-
the way in.
Both sides of it, like Yaz has, where you've like hosted the red carpet and
Yeah.
been walking down the red carpet.
Yeah. And I've been the +1.
and
You
you've
know,
and
I've been the
yeah.
+1 many a time.
Yeah.
So, and I much prefer that. You
so
get
much
all the
better.
perks,
Yeah, yeah.
none of the bloody.
Yeah, all the free popcorn.
Yeah. And
it's
you don't
great.
have to like. Yeah, and I remember. Do you know what Christopher Biggins said to me once?
I'd love to know.
I think this is a great way to end the podcast. What did Christopher
He goes,
Biggins say to you?
You get everywhere. Thank you, Christopher Biggins. So it's my life's mission to gazump Christopher Biggins.
There you go. We should just go to everyone and wait until he gets there and be
Yeah.
like, actually, I'm in a rush.
Sorry, Chris.
I'm in a rush.
I'd just love to know
Chris, hold back.
which red carpets Christopher Biggins is going
All
down.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
He's at all of them.
Hold Biggins back. Hold Biggins back. Great man coming. Great man coming. Got another one in.
Very good.
The traditional end of the podcast is just to find out what's coming up next for you. So what is on the agenda for you?
Every Wednesday, Bottoms Up podcast. You can watch on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
There's a
Just
pro done by a pro.
Forever? Every Wednesday forever.
Possibly not forever. My
Do you
liver
take
just
do you
kicked
take
me.
a little break for some holidays?
No,
No?
it's on for the rest of the year at least. We've
All
got
the way
a load
through.
of more episodes.
Christmas special. How about that? Let's
Yes,
do it.
we'd
I
like
think
to
in here.
do.
We could do it in here. This is quite.
Oh
Christmas.
yeah, this is quite. Oh my god, we should film it in here.
A nice
More
little
than welcome. We'll
Christmas
put a tree up
special,
for you.
Yeah, and bring mulled wine.
Me and George
stuff.
can be like Christmas wine butlers.
You could be the elves.
We could be the elves.
Because you know I used to work in Lapland.
Yes.
Of course.
but
we've
we've not got
you
enough
can't drop that
time.
in when
We
there's 2
haven't got
minutes
enough
left.
time.
And then gigging all over. I am announcing something for next year,
Oh, not yet.
but I don't know when this goes out, and I don't think I can say it.
in a few weeks.
Which is really one of those because you work with so many actors. What you got coming?
The
No,
amount
this
of
is
times
basically
they
this
say
is
irons
what-
in the fire.
This
Can't
is
help.
what happens.
Loads
Can't
of
tell
irons
you.
in the fire. I'm
So
like,
basically, it is
your irons
keep an eye on your social media to see what's going to be announced.
To see lots of funny videos as well. let's
Oh
be
yeah,
honest.
try and do funny videos.
Yeah.
Just living life,
Living life, having a nice time.
enjoying the summer.
And just to finish, coming to Before the Lights to win every chess club that we ever put on.
Oh my god! So this is my favourite, and you do chess club, and sometimes I host quizzes here
And
as well.
yeah,
don't I?
you do a very
You
good
ever
I
want
did
to
quiz
hear
as
when
well.
you apparently just turned up to chess club, wiped
And
the
just
floor with it.
wipe the floor with everyone and then walked out. But the funniest part of that, Lee is very good at chess, and I've seen him play. I've only ever seen you lose like once or twice,
Oh, I know.
and he's
Aaron
really
beat
upset
me.
about it. But the funny thing is, Yaz goes around telling everyone that he was #1 in the world on the chess app.
I know.
with like the thing that has like literally about 1 billion.
The
people
most
playing on it.
used app in the entire world, and Lee
like,
was.
I would be so rich if that was the case.
But the amount of people I've heard her say, and she's like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" I'm like, "No, that's quite a big statement to say about
no.
someone."
Someone that's like okay at chess recreationally
No,
to be
I'm
number one in the
Number
world.
one
top
in the world.
5%.
Wow.
But you've
That
got to
is
remember
impressive,
there
though.
There's
are
1 billion people.
There are which is so it is a
Still
big
very
pool.
good.
But I think that's even more impressive to be top.
the number
5%.
one in the world.
Not well. Number one in the world is more impressive than top 5%,
Yeah.
but clearly he's not number one in the world.
No,
Whereas
But
top
he is-
5% is actually
Clearly.
quite amazing.
he's
And
very.
you know
he's very good at
that
chess.
story about the guy that won using anal beads. Do you not know that story? It's a
He
big
had like anal beads that like
vibrated.
vibrated, so he knew
I
what
know. That's what got me into
piece
it.
to. Right. On that note.
On that note, thank you
Is
so
this
much.
going to be
very
able
much.
to be used?
We could-
100%.
100%. That's going to be the
podcast.
only,
You
the
just
only
do what you
clip
want.
that gets
Yeah.
put out. The
You
only
do what
clip
you
that
want.
gets put out is that bit.
Anal
That's the
beads.
thing. We're not at the
Mercy of anyone.
mercy of the commissioners.
No.
You are the commissioners.
We
This
are.
is chaos,
Yeah.
and this episode in particular has been perfect chaos. I would say
Yeah, very good.
it's gone very quickly, and I'm not entirely sure what we've talked about.
Yeah, that's
I've had
fine.
a great time.
Jimmy will pull it together. He always does.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much, Lee.
Thanks for
Peart.
having Peart.
Lee Peart, Brett Peart. Thank you so much.
Thanks.